is Nana. Welcome to Furensics, where true crime meets the animal world and every creature deserves justice. I will be participating in doing my makeup at the same time. I am a beginner. Let's start there. I'm a beginner, so bear with me. Like I said, I'm new here. I'm trying to get in the feel of learning how to do my makeup, so y'all will be going on this journey with me, as well as talking about true crime involving animals. I don't know, I thought it would be a good idea because I love true crime. So I kind of wanted to incorporate something that I also love too, which is animals, y'all. I have a lot of pets. So without further ado, let's get into this story. So in short, that means that we're winging it. So y'all, this story today is about Cecil the Lion in Zimbabwe. Now, y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not know about this story, and this story is like a decade old now, because this happened back in 2015. So, me being me, the animal lover that I am, I'm surprised that I myself have never heard of this story. And it's very interesting. It's very sad too, to say the least. But yeah, we're going on this ride together. If I had to hear it, y'all do too. Cecil the Lion was an African male lion, Panthera leo to be exact. If y'all don't know what Panthera is, basically Panthera is an apex predator. It's normally used to describe like lions, leopards, etc., etc., etc. You know, the big cats. But Big Papa was the big dog. You know, they had to give him something. You know what I'm saying? To give him a little extra on to the name. And of course, Leo being lion. Shout out to the Leos out there, by the way. Yeah, my mom, dad. I got a good friend named Don who's a Leo, but not too much on y'all because y'all a little unstable. I like y'all, but y'all is a little unstable, unhinged. Shout out to my mama. She know who I'm talking about. Cecil was said to be born around 2002, and at the time of his demise, he was roughly 13 years old. Cecil lived most of his life at Hwange. Y'all, I might be saying that completely wrong. If I botched it, I'm so sorry. It was said that he was living in Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe for, if not all of his life, majority, because I'm not sure if he was captured, he was brought there. I can't confirm or deny. Cecil was a beautiful lion, y'all. He was absolutely gorgeous. Like I can't even express how gorgeous this lion was. He had a mane that was infringed with black, as well as the regular golden that, you know, lions tend to have, but that is what made Cecil stand out. He was absolutely stunning, a gorgeous lion, y'all. You know something, sometimes I think about, I really think about things like this, and I'm like, you know what, I kind of want to have a lion one day. And then I start thinking about, like, you know, what lions do. Then I'm like, nah, sis, you good, never mind. You know, you got a cat or two, you know, you got a regular little house cat. You don't need all that extra in your life. But you know, sometimes I do think like maybe I should go to a safari park and start touching on lions and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, I just be talking because I can just see myself now getting ate up, completely ate up. Nothing left, no bone, no nothing left. Then I'm juicy too, y'all. Baby, I could just see myself now on channel 13. I could just see myself now. Ate up, y'all. Mama crying. Daddy mad at me because I made an irrational decision. I could just see it now, y'all. My daddy already said I do stupid stuff. He already said it. But anyway, this is not about me, y'all. This is about Cecil. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. The year 2008, Cecil was a part of a long-term research project by the Wildlife Conservation Research Unit at the University of Oxford. During his time in Zimbabwe, Cecil actually wore a GPS collar so they knew where he was at all times. And so if they needed to, they can go check on him, see what he was doing. So Cecil, he had to have been that guy. He was that guy. Because for him to have that on, baby, where y'all need to know where he at all the time, baby. Oh yeah, he's that guy, you guys. Cecil was said to be a high commodity at the park. A lot of tourists gravitated towards going to that park, so they just, so they could see Cecil because of how pretty he was and how well known he was. People wanted to see Cecil. It was said that Cecil didn't mind the tourists being there. It's kind of like he tolerated them being there, and it didn't seem to bother him that they were there in his habitat, all in his face, taking pictures of him. It was said that it didn't affect him at all. I guess people were expecting him to like jump in the safari truck. I'm not sure. What do lions do? Moving on. Sadly, things took a turn for Cecil in July of 2015 when, ultimately that was the end of his life, Unfortunately, July 1st, 2015, an American dentist who also was a trophy hunter, Walter James Palmer, took himself on down there to Zimbabwe to play a big game, y'all. Y'all know what that means. We all know what that means. We don't even have to look further into that, huh? I'm not gonna get in depth about him because I don't want to make the story about him, because the story is not about him. The story is about Cecil. So we're not gonna get into like his life story and the things that he's done in his life. We're gonna touch briefly on some things that he's done, but mainly our focus isn't gonna be on him, if that makes sense. So Walter is from Minnesota, so you can imagine the distance. This isn't like we're gonna go down the street, This was a very like dedicated plan to go out here to catch a big game, It's a lot of dedication. I don't think I could do some stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go half across the world to go hunting. But that's just me. Actually, while we're on the topic, if I were to go to Zimbabwe, I'm sorry, I have to say this. If I were to go to Zimbabwe, I don't think that I would go and hunt the wildlife. I think I generally would go try to learn the culture, eat some food. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I would go out there and say I'm just gonna disrupt everybody's peace and kill a famous lion. But we haven't even got to that part of the story yet. We gotta get there. Now, Mr. Palmer here, he decided that he wasn't gonna go out here and do this on his own. He needed support. He needed help as he went and did this heinous act. Mr. Palmer here, you guys, he wasn't gonna go out here and do this on his own. So he went and got him a Zimbabwean tracker as well as a local hunting guide by the name of Theo Brockhurst. And I hope I'm saying his name right, because I'm probably botching that too. That same evening, y'all, July 1st, it was presumed to be around about 10 p.m. Cecil was injured by a crossbow and arrow. So these men saw him and they thought that he would be the perfect
$50 million
animal to hunt. And so they decided to injure him. And after they injured Cecil, they followed him to be presumed at least 10 to 12 hours after he was already injured. I guess they were waiting or plotting to see what their next move was. So they actually tracked him for 10 to 12 hours after they had already injured him. It is believed that Cecil was actually lured out of his zone by the hunters. I don't think he was found where he was supposed to be, which is inside of the national park. It is said that they lured him with a dead carcass on the back of their safari truck, or hunting truck rather. Still injured, Cecil was still outside of his normal safety ground, which was the national park. Cecil was wandering a farmland outside of the national park, and that is where the hunters unfortunately ended his life. They finished him off with the same thing they injured him with, which was a crossbow, according to Mr. Palmer. They did this roughly 10 to 12 hours after they had already injured him. So poor Cecil, y'all. Just poor Cecil. He just did not have a chance. And that just makes me so sad, because why? You know, why? Just why? What was your point? What was the purpose? You know? I won't believe what he did, y'all. Like, well, I know this is like something that I guess hunters do. Like, this is something normal for them. But y'all, they skinned him. They skinned him. And then they decapitated him. You know something? I don't know, y'all. I feel like, you know, as a hunter, and I'm not saying that it's bad to hunt, because I know a lot of people do it anyways. You know, me personally, and y'all, trust the process. I'm telling you, my beginnerness is going to come in handy. I'm telling you, just give me a second. But y'all, okay, y'all take the head and y'all mount it, but why? It's like well, I know he's a trophy hunter, but I never understood like putting like wildlife on the wall, you know? Okay, yeah, like, yeah, man, I caught a lion, I killed a lion, like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the I don't know how to put it. I just couldn't. Me personally, I hate seeing roadkill. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to walk in your house and I see a deer on the wall. That would concern me. That would freak me out. I don't know. That's not for me. That type of lifestyle, definitely not for you, girl. Can't do that. Absolutely not. Cecil's body was actually found a couple hours later. Like we said, he was not inside of the park when they did this to him. So his body was discovered outside of the park. I can only imagine how they felt to see that sight, you know. I could literally only imagine. I don't even want to imagine how a person felt to see something like that, a decapitated body of their iconic lion. That is crazy. I also failed to mention too that tracker, the hunters actually tried to destroy, but they failed miserably at trying to destroy the tracker. Because remember, Cecil had on a collar that had a tracker in it where they could find him. They knew where he was at all times. He was he was under research and stuff. So that was a pretty key detail. And I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Of course, once people got wind of the death of Cecil, a lot of people spoke out about it. People were outraged that this man came and just uprooted this lion's life just to mount it. Like, he was an iconic lion. This wasn't a regular lion that you just, you know, see and run from, or, you know, this was a tourist attraction lion. Everybody knew Cecil. They liked Cecil. People came out to see Cecil. So this, of course, blew everyone's mind, and people were not happy about this at all. They were not happy, and I would not have been either if I was there in their same situation. Actually, let me not say that. I'm not happy about it right now. People actually argue that the hunt was very problematic because it was presumed, as I stated earlier in the video, that he was being tracked by these hunters. Like, this wasn't like a, oh, this was a one-stop shop. They literally wounded him on July 1st, finished him July 2nd, 10, 12 hours after he was wounded. So people felt as though they tracked him down, they hunted him like a wild beast, and this was not okay. People also were upset because they felt as though he was lured out of his protected zone by them putting that dead carcass on the back of their truck. And ultimately, that's how he passed outside of the protected zone, because they knew they couldn't get him in the protected zone, so they lured him out. That's also another thing that people noted while fighting for Cecil, because that is very messed up. He was a protected lion, and they knew that he was a protected lion. That is why they lured him out of where he was supposed to be, because they could not do it while he was there, so they lured him out. Make sense? Y'all following me? Now, a majority of the population was upset about Cecil's passing. Some hunters and even Zimbabwean officials felt as though that the death of Cecil was justifiable because it was under a permit. You know, he was permitted to do what he did. It also didn't help that in November of 2016, the Zimbabwean court dropped the charges against the guy Theo, who worked with Walter in the demise of Cecil. Yeah, y'all, they dropped the charges. They literally dropped. They were like, nah, it was fine. It's fine what they did. So they dropped the charges on them, y'all. Which, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the courts, you know, I don't know. Sometimes with the courts, I just kind of, I stay in my lane when it comes down to the criminal justice system, because I don't know a lick of nothing about it. So I just don't say nothing about it. Cause look, I'm not about to argue with nobody about none of that. That ain't up my alley. It's not. It probably never will be. Okay. Now, when they dropped the charges, it was said that the hunt was too vague and that ultimately it was permittable in a sense. And in the midst of all that as well, Walter was also not charged by Zimbabwe. Crazily enough as well, Walter Palmer also had a prior conviction back in 2006 when he pleaded guilty for making false statements after illegally hunting a black bear in Wisconsin. Now, this part is what really made me like kind of get really sad, was the fact that, y'all, Cecil, he actually had cubs. Now I know the animal world is different, the animal kingdom is different. They don't look at their kids as we look at our kids, you know what I'm saying? I don't have kids, but I do have fur babies. So, you know, they look at their animals, their cubs, and, you know, different than humans look at their children. So I know that it's no reason to be like, oh girl, why are you sad? It's sad because in the animal kingdom, those cubs, you know, yes, the dad, he could mess up his kids if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? He could do that if he wants to. But when I really think about it, if Cecil was a great lion, say he's a great dad lion, okay? He's a great dad lion. He's gonna protect, you know, what's his, you know, and that includes, you know, his children, you know. So, and I'm not the only one who felt this way as well, because people also who worked at the place that Cecil was held was actually concerned about his cubs and how they were going to be without him being there. So, you know, I'm not the only one who feels this way, but I also felt that way before I read it as well. And that really does bother me. I'm not gonna lie to you, it does bother me, because that's just so sad. That's such a sad, like, gosh. And I know he's not a human, but it's still just sad to think about, like, what if these cubs, they could have had a chance with their dad being there, and now they don't have a chance at all. But I also Did not do any research on the Cubs. Maybe we can do that another time, but I did not do that for this video. After Cecil's passing, it is reported that a lot of the tourism kind of died down. People were hurt, y'all. And as they should be, because imagine you going to see an iconic animal and he's no longer present anymore. That was my whole basis of going, and now he's no longer there. I kind of don't want to go now, you know. So I'm pretty sure people felt that way about Cecil's passing. Is that, wow, he's not here, so what's the point of going? And also it sparked a lot of outrage as well in the community around the world. So that also played a huge factor. In an interview conducted by Minneapolis Star Tribune. Sorry, I might have read that wrong. In the Associated Press, they did an interview with Walter about what he had done, and y'all, this is what he had to say, and I quote, "If I had have known this lion had a name and was important to the country or a study, obviously I wouldn't have taken it." He also stated, and I quote, "He is heartbroken that the animosity against him caused disruption to the lives of his family and the staff of his dental practice." Okay, now y'all, we done talked about this, all right? Now, we done already talked about this. Given based off the evidence, and yes, I used evidence because this is what people, like I said, I'm a beginner. I'm not doing all that with the eyeshadow. But given the evidence of what he did, I just don't see, you know, I don't see it being like that. I don't see it being like a, oh, I didn't know who this lion was. This lion had a tracker. This lion had a tracker on him. So that's what's bothering me, is like, this lion, I've never seen a wild animal have a tracker on them unless they were of some sort of importance. And then on top of that, you tried to destroy the tracker, but it didn't work. So I don't understand how he can sit here and like try to play this victim role about it, because, sir, it's not working. Well, it didn't work for me. I don't know if it worked for y'all, but it ain't working for me. I'm sorry, but it's not working. No. Although things ended in an unfortunate event for Cecil, the world actually knew his name after his passing. The entire world. So in a sense, some good came out of it, but he still passed, you guys. But still though, let's talk about the good that came after Cecil's death. Cecil's death caused a global conversation between news outlets, social media, animal advocates. Everybody wanted justice for Cecil. Everybody was like, ain't no way this man getting away with this. We need some consequences and repercussions. Because, like I said, like I previously stated with what I feel, is that he knew. There is no way that he didn't know this lion. There is no way he went out there on the pretenses. Because first of all, Zimbabwe, I'm not sure how big it is, but out of all the places you went to, you went there. Come on now, y'all. Let's think. Let's put on our thinking caps a little bit and let's think about this. Let's talk about this real fast. Out of all the places you went to, mind you, this was a well-known lion. This was not no regular schmegular degular lion. This was a well-known lion. Everybody knew Cecil. Everybody knew Cecil, and he then took his tail over there and then took him out. Took him out. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he knew who Cecil was. I put my last dollar on it that he knew who Cecil was. There's no way that he didn't. There's no way. After Cecil's death, donations flooded in from people. People were sending their kindness gestures, kind words to the wildlife charities. Like, this was a really huge thing. This was a big deal. And you guys remember Oxford University, who was actually doing research on Cecil? People sent them so much support. They wanted them to know y'all are not here by yourselves. We feel for y'all because we're hurt too. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Not only were people concerned about Cecile, but they also wanted to be there for animals who also were wrongfully killed too, that never hit the media or who are never going to hit the media. People wanted to show their support for that as well. And essentially, they want people to stop trophy hunting, but we all know that that's probably never going to happen. Also, and we're getting more in depth to it, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services also added African lions to the endangered species list. So therefore, if you think you're gonna try that stuff again, bet. This change was made on December 21st of 2015. So this was later on in the year, but it was in the same year that Cecile unfortunately passed away. A couple months later, but it still happened. Oh, y'all, I kind of like blush. I don't know if I'll be adding too much of it, but I really do like it. Can't help myself, you know. Like I said, I'm a beginner, so I'm still figuring out different colors and stuff like that. You know, it's not gonna be perfect, but I'm still figuring it out. Also, you guys, going back in time a little bit, if we go back to August 3rd, 2015, Delta and American Airlines banned trophy hunting on their planes, like transporting trophies of animals on their planes. Like you can't do that anymore. No, absolutely not. And honestly, I can't believe that was a thing. Like that was a thing. Like that was a thing, y'all. Like taking the heads of animals and transporting them back home. I can't believe that was like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh, but I just can't believe that was approved. Like that's approved. Like Jesus, bless it. That's how y'all know I'm a beginner, because I'm sitting over here using a doggone beauty blender, and my mom, she gives us brushes every year for Christmas, y'all. And y'all see that? Oh wait, y'all see that? Y'all see what that say? Blush, a whole blush brush, y'all. And I'm sitting over here banging my face in with that. I see, y'all, I'm learning. I'm telling you, I'm still learning. I don't know the different brushes or anything. I don't even know if I was using the right brushes in this video. But like I said, I'm a beginner, and y'all are with me on this journey, and y'all are gonna like it. And today, Cecile's name lives on in conservation programs, memorials, and even some children's books. He is the true definition on how one animal story can change how the world looks and views different species. So yeah, y'all, that is the story of Cecile, y'all. You know something? I just cannot get over the fact of, y'all, I just can't get over the fact of, like, I know that this man knew. I just know that he knew. This lion, like, y'all, this lion had a tracker. He had an entire tracker on, and it just doesn't, it just bothers me that, I mean, yeah, I get it, hunting is a thing, but he really got away with this. Like, he really did. This kind of bothers me because, hold on. Y'all just gonna let me sit there and spray my face down with heat protecting spray? That's how y'all feeling? All right, I understand. Well, anyways, y'all, it just kind of bothers me because, I don't know, I just feel like he knew. There's no way he didn't know. He knew. It was the tracker. It's just a tracker for me. They tried to destroy the tracker. That's like, come on now. And then you traveled all that way from where you're from. Like, come on, y'all. Let's look at the facts really fast. You traveled from Minnesota to Zimbabwe. Like, for a big game, yes. Okay, cool. You're hunting, but it's just, I just don't see this being one of those. I didn't know about the lion. I didn't know. Come on, y'all. Come on. Like, you didn't know at all. Nothing about this lion? Nothing at all? It's a little suspicious, but We gotta let that ride, y'all. So anyways, y'all, that will conclude this video. I am so grateful to be finally starting something that I like to do. I don't know if I like makeup yet. I'm still figuring that out. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Like, give me some pointers, some tips. Like I said, I'm a beginner. I don't know how to do my eyebrows yet. I don't really want to mess off with the eyeshadow yet because I'm not that advanced. But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think but down below about it. As a beginner, do not try to compare me to other people who do this, okay? Because I know they're bad at it. I got a couple YouTubers that I like to watch too with their true criminal makeup. You can't compare me to them yet. I'm not there yet. But they be tea. But I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just, rate me as a beginner. Not someone who's advanced, not someone who knows what they're doing. Somebody who is trying and they're willing to learn. Rate me as that. Keep that in mind. So if you do your makeup and you do the glam bam thank you ma'am, don't come up in here trying to tell me, girl, you suck. Don't do that, okay? I'm still learning. But I have also improved, y'all. Y'all should have saw what I did last week. It was really bad. Really bad. Anyways, y'all, thank you for joining Furensics today with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you get notified every time we post, so we can uncover the truth of these animal cases one paw print at a time. See y'all next time. Bye.